Greetings all, my name is Russ Hatfield, and over my shoulder is Karra, my higher dimensional twin soul and member of Ashtar Command on Hades Space. In this lesson, Karra shares her opinions on the overmedication of patients as opposed to finding alternative ways of healing the person, such as a hyperactive child finding ways to harness the energy. She reveals that even on Sirius, they had a similar issue where they used chemicals to cure imbalances. You can follow our online transcript at the link below or our homepage, Center for Ascension, and please subscribe at the end of this video to be alerted of future channeling sessions, editorials from Karra and myself, and lessons from the Center for Ascension. And now, hyperactivity and healing.
All right, thank you. I have a question to ask, and it's been bothering the hell out of me for quite a while. I'm a healer, or I have that gift.
Mm-hmm.
What I can't seem to get through my thick head is why all these educated practitioners have to, or seem to think that they have to, induce chemicals in everybody's body to cure something that 99% of the time is not physical but mental.
Because it is part of, we discussed last time, rituals. You remember?
Yeah, I remember the ritual, but even a ritual doesn't.
Use the chemicals?
These gentlemen, or ladies, however they are, graduated from these schools of medicine, are all, what can I say, physical
yes, physical practitioners.
practice, but they've come down to a point of where it seems that 90% of them want to use chemicals to try to cure something that is not physical.
Oh, I see where you're going. You're talking about the psychiatrists, people that deal with the minds of.
Well, even they induce chemicals in their people to. This whole society seems to be going chemical happy, is what I'm trying to get at.
Mm-hmm.
And why? Chemicals don't do anything for the body.
The way I think things are happening in my planet's history, we went through a phase very similar where we use chemicals to control what we perceive as imbalances. What we were actually doing was masking the problem. It was, let's take a child that is hyperactive. Mm-hmm. The question you have to ask is, why is the child hyperactive? What is, first of all, making the child hyperactive? Is it something in the diet? Is it a particular person? Is it a particular environmental factor? Once you've ruled out all these factors, and there are numerous other ones, you'll have to forgive me for only taking 3 out because it's so little tired. Let's say you've ruled out all the environmental factors and the child is still hyperactive. That's the way the child is. But if you look over the long term at a hyperactive individual, or take an individual that was hyperactive, they serve a very important purpose. People that are hyperactive may be hyperactive because they have a lot to achieve and have set themselves lots of objectives and goals that they need to achieve. So by prescribing chemicals to slow them down, you may be doing them a disservice. Or you could be doing them a service in extending their life so that they can fulfill all the things that they wish to do. Or you may be making it so that their life is cut short because of the chemicals interacting in a way that slows down their processes, and they live the natural length of time that they were supposed to live do not achieve the goals and objectives that they have set themselves, so they have to do it all over again. There are certainly times where it does become necessary to slow an individual down to a point where they can step outside and see what they're doing and lay a pathway that will slow them down naturally once the chemicals are removed. But the chemicals should only be used as a temporary measure whilst other options are looked at if absolutely necessary, but not willy-nilly handed out like confectionery. That is something that it's alarming to hear, that there is a large number of people being given chemicals to calm them down.
Or to fix something that isn't physically wrong with them.
Correct.
Now, I have the reputation of being a workaholic, or I have had most of my life. I was hyper, that's all.
Okay, so you're hyper. You know what it's done for you.
Made a heck of a good life for me and my family.
Exactly.
If I hadn't been hyper, I wouldn't have been able to make that good of a life.
That's correct. Would you wish to be no ambition, no will to do anything? Somebody else will take care of you, somebody else will look after you.
That won't work for me. That still don't work for me, even at my advanced years.
But, well, if I was on Earth years, I would be in my late 20s to mid-30s.
Yeah, I know. It's almost 3 times that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I still can't let other people take care of me. In fact, I'm still looking to find somebody to take care of for me.
That is good.
Huh?
That is good to have those ambitions and goals and objectives.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to stop just because I've got into the 60 years.
Age is irrelevant.
Yeah, well, I figure I still got another good 30 years left.
That's good. That's good.
And I'm going to enjoy them.
Mm-hmm. I've got at least another good, hopefully 800 years.
Yeah, you bugger.
That's something I do not enjoy.
But what I was getting at is I've run across so many people just the last, I would say, 10 years that physicians, now I'm not specifying male or female, but physicians, okay, have kept pumping into them different chemicals trying to cure something that's not curable physically. It's a mental thing.
Well, also, I think it's having looked around and seen research when I was more concentrating on the healing. It was more of a thing of, well, let's fix the problem. But you've got to take these medications and chemicals for the rest of your life. I mean, that is a waste. I totally agree with you, Skip. But you see, getting back to the children, it is also an importance on laying the correct foundation, and if necessary, taking a harsh hand and laying down parameters that are important that will form in later life. If you have a hyperactive child, you have to think, okay, how can we harness that energy from that child to benefit the child and improve the surroundings for that child?
I think this is why I've been trying to learn so hard of my physical and spiritual healing powers.
And then on the other side is what you do with somebody that has no will and ambition, and how do you get them motivated?
The only thing you can do, in my estimation, is something like that, is continue to feed them energy and keep setting examples for them. But it still comes down to what we were discussing earlier. It's their choice.
Yes, I will do cover that.
Yeah, it's their choice. You can set all the examples and give them all the energy in the world, but it's still their free choice to do
Right.
or not to do. It helps. It really does. Coercion helps,
Yes.
or energy, examples. All these things help. But it's still really, when it comes down to push and shove, it's still their choice.
Yes, you're very correct on that. Right, I'm going to wander off as I've been offered to sleep in the guest room.
Oh, fantastic.
So I'm going to go and lie down for it.
Go
Take care,
right ahead,
get some
Don.
rest.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.